Next area we are going to see the profit. Profit is divided into two areas. One is operating profit. Another one is non-operating profit. Now what do you mean by operating profit? Operating profit is nothing but the profit comes from the sale proceeds. Operating profit is nothing but it can earned, the operating profit can be earned from sale proceeds of the business. Whereas a non-operating profit is the profit which comes other than the regular business sale. What are the things? Profit from sale of building, and machinery, furniture, like etc. Okay, operating profit is nothing but the profit is earned from sale proceeds of the business. That is the gross profit which we get from the trading account. With that we have to subtract the office and administration expenses and selling and distribution expenses and financial expenses, and we are adding we are subtracting, and we are taking the gross profit. From the gross profit we are subtracting all these income expenses, and what we get is called the operating profit. Non-operating profit is a profit on the sale of building, machinery and furniture, etc. And in addition to that, sometimes investments also sold at profitability rate. Investments also sold, that also taken into non-operating profit. Like that, profit expenses also two types. One is operating expenses. And non-operating expenses. Okay, now what are the operating expenses? The operating expenses are the expenses that is the amount spent on running the business. To run the business, we have some expenses such as production expenses, administration and office expenses, selling and distribution expenses, financial expenses. To run the business, we have to spend some money. That money is called operating expenses. And what do you mean by non-operating expenses? Non-operating expenses are expenses which incurs to the business in the form of donations paid by the business, or charity amount spent, and then loss by way of theft, sometimes loss by fire. These are the expenses. These are the expenses, non-operating expenses. Now let us once again see the business. In business, the profit has got two. One is operating profit. Another one is non-operating profit. Operating profit is nothing but the profit earned from the sale proceeds of the business. And non-operating profit is the profit on the sale of the building, machinery, furniture, etc., and investments, etc. And expenses also two types. One is operating expenses, another one is non-operating expenses. Operating expenses that are used spent for running the business, such as the direct expenses at the time of production, and indirect expenses after the production, such as admin and office expenses, admin and office expenses, selling and distribution expenses, and financial expenses such as paying interest on loan and interest on capital, etc. So these are called as operating expenses. These are called the non-operating expenses other than the regular proceeds of the business, such as a donation, charity, loss by fire, loss by way of theft, etc. Now let us see the formula to find out how to find out this and how to find out the non-operating expenses and how to find out a non-operating profit. Let us see.